Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I've been in the XRP community and a holder of XRP for over 6 years, and there's never been a shortage of theories out there about price suppression, and I always enjoy seeing these nonsense theories get completely shattered, which is what's going to happen right here in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. Here's the headline from the Crypto Basic. Ripple CTO rejects XRP price suppression theories. And just wait, I mean, it's so obvious. And like sharing, like you don't have to be a chart guy, I'm not. But just looking at some very basic chart activity, this is provably the case. Then there's also this headline from the Crypto Basic. Ripple CEO confirms no IPO soon as Ripple to buy back $285 million of its shares. So we'll be talking about that too. Now, I'll let you guys know towards the later part of last year that Ripple would not be having an IPO, not anytime soon. I still think it'll happen at some unknown point in the future. Not anytime soon. That's what I was saying probably, I can't remember how long ago. It was probably like 3 months ago, maybe? I don't know, something like that. And the reason is pretty clear. Even though XRP has legal clarity, there's enough legal uncertainty that you couldn't drum up enough support for an IPO at this particular juncture in time. Doesn't mean there's something fundamentally wrong with Ripple, but that was actually privately known among investors, but the news leaked out from a ton of different sources, and somebody had actually handed it to me privately, so I was aware of it anyway. But then once it came out, I was like, yeah, here it is. There you go. Like Attorney Jeremy Hogan highlighted it, and there were others. And so no, the IPO isn't happening. And but just to be clear, anyone who's thinking that means there's something wrong fundamentally with Ripple or XRP specifically, which is a core component of Ripple's business model, I still firmly say the answer is no, but we're going to break some of this down. Before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I am not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, into this first piece talking about alleged XRP price suppression theories. The Ripple CTO David Schwarz has come up to debunk claims that Ripple sold 237 million XRP last December, sharing XRP, XLM, and Cardano charts to dispel the circulating XRP price suppression theories. Schwartz's latest remarks came as a reply to the official X account of the Good Morning Crypto podcast. Citing data provided by Mr. Huber, an on-chain sleuth, the podcast's X account claimed that Ripple sold 237 million XRP in December 2023. Now, according to the disclosure, this net sales figure represents 3 times the amount that the firm typically sells every month. Note that Ripple releases 1 billion XRP from escrow each month, but relocks 800 million tokens, retaining 200 million for sales. So let's go to the source content now. This is Good Morning Crypto's official account on X, and they wrote the following. Ripple is heavily dumping XRP. In December 2023, Ripple's net sales of XRP reached 237 million units, equivalent to 142 million United States dollars. This is 3 times the average monthly sales. Considering Ripple's historical patterns, a significant buyback is anticipated soon. Any extended period without net buybacks, typically 8 to 10 weeks, would be cause for concern, per Mr. Huber. Do you believe Ripple's selling of XRP is negatively affecting XRP prices? And so, look, there are a number of ways that this can be debunked, and I always point out that historically, anyway, the percentage of global volume of Ripple's sale of their XRP is less than 0.5%. That is not enough to in any way detect what is happening in terms of you can't the sales occur, you can't see the tiniest nudge of the global price of XRP when they sell. You cannot. Now, of course, if you're looking at the supply, and that's because just be clear, that's because it doesn't all hit at once. It's not like they're literally dumping almost half of the supply of XRP on the market at once. That would hit. That would hit. So instead, if you have it slowly seep in over a span of decades, yeah, you don't notice it as time passes slowly. Now, of course, I understand that if that didn't exist and it couldn't be sold, then the dynamics in terms of supply and demand would be very different in the future, which is to say that it does impact over a prolonged period of time. I'm not pretending like it doesn't. I'm just saying, if your argument is that XRP price isn't going higher because of this, you are wrong. You are absolutely wrong. because the inflation isn't any greater, if you want to consider some inflation in terms of circulating supply, if you want to call it that. It's not far out of line from many other coins. So if you want to know what the problem is, it's that there's not more demand. Look at the demand side. Everybody focuses so much on supply. What about the demand side? We need more people and more adoption of the entire crypto asset class. That's going to be way more important. But here's what David Schwarz had to say in response to this. He said, "This is inaccurate. Not sure where you are pulling this 3x data from, but the next XRP markets report, coming out in a few weeks, will again include Ripple's aggregate holdings of XRP over the quarter. You'll see the changes in our holdings from the beginning to the end of the quarter due to transfers, grants, sales, etc. No surprises, the numbers are similar to previous quarters. We have always tried to be transparent about our holdings, even when that transparency has been used against us." Yeah, exactly, and it certainly was used against them by the SEC and other market participants. Even Joe Lubin specifically, giving Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse crap about it years ago. Although Brad Garlinghouse in 2019, is that like a Yahoo event? I think they hosted some sort. I can't remember now. It's been too many years. But he zinged back to Joe Lubin. He's like, okay, well, where's how much ETH does your organization have? And just, of course, no crickets then, right? Anyway, but check this out. So then there was also this post from David Schwarz. Because somebody wrote to him, XRP price is awful, someone is dumping heavily. Now again, this narrative is not true. I can appreciate if people are being intellectually honest, they're pro XRP and they're just trying to figure out why, and their brain goes to, well, could it be this? And they're asking the question, or they think that it might be the case. I can appreciate you being in that position, but let me inform you that absolutely, unquestionably, unequivocally is not true. David Schwarz responded with 2 charts, including the one that's on your screen right now. David Schwarz wrote, first chart is both XRP and XLM over the past month. Second chart is XRP and Cardano over the past month. So for those of you looking at the screen, you'll note that the price of XRP is blue and XLM is the one that's in this orangish color. These line up pretty damn samey, don't they? So if the reason XRP price is doing what it's doing is because of Ripple, then why is XLM matching up? Now, if you want to make an argument that XRP is like the big brother of XLM, and so XLM is just going to follow regardless of what XRP does, okay, I'll play ball with that because I know it's nonsense. Let's go to the next chart, shared by David Schwarz. Now the blue chart is still XRP, and the orangish one is no longer XLM. The orangish chart is now Cardano. And wouldn't you know it, it's the same damn situation. Folks, let's not overcomplicate this. The asset class moves in tandem. That's it. That is it. And then there's this. Is Ripple's share buyback positive or negative? And I actually do like this article from Ledger Insights. Check this out. Yesterday, Reuters reported that Ripple Labs is buying back $285 million worth of stock from early investors and employees, citing sources. The tender offer allows owners to sell up to 6% of their stake, valuing the company at $11.3 billion. Ripple confirmed the buyback to Reuters, with CEO Brad Garlinghouse stating that Ripple has $1 billion in cash and $25 billion in crypto, mostly XRP. He also confirmed there are no plans for an IPO anytime soon because of U.S. regulatory uncertainty. And folks, I know that might sound strange because XRP itself does have legal clarity, but Ripple is still currently in a lawsuit with the SEC. So even though we in the world of crypto as XRP holders, we're like, yeah, we already partied, everything's good, this whole thing's sewn up, everything's good to go. Not technically true for Ripple just yet. And so when they went on their roadshow last year, when Ripple did, they didn't get the feedback that they were hoping for very clearly, because otherwise they would have IPO'd by now, frankly. And there were talks that Ripple would have IPO'd by the end of 2023, but obviously that didn't come to fruition because upon going on the roadshow, the response wasn't sufficiently hot. And it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with Ripple or XRP. It's just the circumstances are the circumstances. Try again later, basically. That's pretty much it. I still think it's going to happen at some point. Anyway, piece continues. It is exceptionally unusual for a pre-IPO company to buy back its own shares. However, Ripple isn't just any company. Few startups hold the quantity of assets that Ripple has. We haven't seen Ripple's balance sheet, but based on simple math, a valuation of $11.3 billion seems to represent around 44% of Ripple's cash and crypto. And one would hope that Ripple's intellectual property might be worth something. But that calculation isn't entirely accurate because valuing an escrowed stash of coins at the current market price is risky. According to CoinGecko, the currently circulating XRP supply is 54.2 billion tokens out of a maximum of 100 billion tokens. So Ripple has the balance of 45.8 billion tokens valued at yesterday's price of 55 cents, which is around $25.2 billion. Using that figure is natural because that's the available market price. However, if Ripple released those tokens onto the market today, the price would drop significantly. Of course, it won't do that because it has its escrow process. However, an investor using the current price to value locked up tokens is FTX risky, particularly when it's such a large proportion of the total issuance. So, an $11.3 billion valuation isn't really a 56% discount. That said, buying back stock is generally a vote of confidence by the company and its leaders. One could imagine CEO Garlinghouse saying, "We can buy you out at a big discount. We'll take that." The fact that Ripple is in a position to do this is positive compared to its cash and XRP balance. $285 million is not huge. And so, folks, this is something that I've said for the longest time. And I see so many people in our community. I know people operating in good faith, just trying to come to reasonable conclusions. I'm not saying that this is weird or bad or stupid. It's just not quite right. But people assume that Ripple's, the value of Ripple's XRP holdings on paper should be taken at face value, and that should be considered part of the valuation of their company. But it never is, and it shouldn't be. And that's because you need to consider what the actual notional value is. Because here's the deal: in reality, Ripple could never get that dollar figure out of XRP. If they tried to, the global price of XRP, it would plummet. Now, of course, we know Ripple wouldn't do that. It's not in their interest, and they've got XRP locked up in escrow. But that's why it's not considered in the valuation of the company. It's because they could never actually realize it if they went to go sell it right now. It's not the same. Like, having $25 billion on paper worth of XRP is not the same as if you had like actual assets. Like, say you had $25,000 worth of manufacturing, machinery, basically, or cars or airplanes, whatever it was. It's not the same thing, because if you have those as assets, you can sell those off. If there's a big enough market, there won't be a hit. But if you have almost half the supply of XRP, you can materially impact a market like that. Absolutely. And so it's not considered. That's why it's not considered to be part of the actual valuation of the company, which is perfectly reasonable. And then there's also this. One potential reason for investors exiting is the long time that has passed since Ripple's early funding rounds between 2013 and 2016. Some venture funds might simply want an exit to secure their massive profits. Given an IPO was on the cards before the SEC litigation and no longer is, it might be the simplest explanation is the right one. The list of external investors is at the foot of this article. Okay, so pause note, that's plausible. It could be the case that people are just taking profit. They were going to hang in there longer because they're expecting an IPO. Now the IPO is not happening. They're bailing ship. Okay, possible. But realistically, I think we all understand there's going to, in all probability, be an IPO. It's not like that's not going to happen. It's not a question of if. It's a question of timing. So would these participants right now exit? Maybe. Maybe they're like, okay, it's taking too long. We don't know what the timeline's going to be like. We got to take some profits that can be put over here. Maybe there's something else that they see as an opportunity. So it's plausible. Anyway, piece continues. Other investors may believe that Ripple will have to pay substantial penalties to the SEC. Recall that Ripple only prevailed in part of its battle with the SEC. Judge Torres ruled in Ripple's favor, that anonymous XRP sales via exchanges to retail investors were not sales of securities. However, the judge found for the SEC regarding institutional sales. Those institutional sales totaled $1.3 billion when the case was filed, and another $3 billion subsequently. If Ripple has $1 billion in cash, it might need to sell more XRP to pay damages depending on the penalty figure. Investors might think this will put pressure on the value of XRP. Alternatively, over the longer term, perhaps they believe the value of XRP will be lower by the time Ripple sells its XRP stash. Yeah, and so if that's what anybody's thinking, the XRP is just not going to be as desirable in the future. They're entitled to think that. But if you look at metrics that actually matter, even outside of regular chart activity showing that XRP just follows the broader crypto market, if you care about utility, you see that that is increasing over time, not decreasing. So I think that would be a bad analysis, but it's certainly possible. So anyway, that's the gist of it here. That's the latest on what's going on here. Again, I still think it's going to happen. I'm not convinced it's going to materially impact the price of XRP. But as far as Ripple dumping, harming the price of XRP, these price suppression theories, no, they are complete and utter nonsense garbage. Just to be clear. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.